bought a Ricoh Theta Z1 but having so many problems in capturing and editing HDR 360 photos for professional virtual tour? You are not alone. There are no up-to-date and straightforward tutorials, pay or free, out there about the Dual Fisheye plugin, unfortunately. So I'm going to share my professional workflow with you so you can quickly produce lots of high quality 360 photos to make your clients happy. Hopefully, this is the last tutorial you will ever need in professional photo editing for virtual tour. Let's go! Hey, what's up everybody, it's your boy Hugh here from Creator Up, the #1 YouTube channel dedicated to consumer and professional 360 content creators. Before I go into my rock solid virtual tour photo editing workflow, I want to give you a no BS review of the Ricoh Theta Z1 right here, after almost 1 year. If you have not already, please check out my comparison video right here, which I compare the Ricoh Theta Z1 with the Qoocam Super HDR and the Insta360 One R HDR. If you want a super simple, fully mobile HDR editing workflow, then it's Qoocam Super HDR, as I detailed it in this tutorial right here. After I show Qoocam AK Super HDR and the Ricoh Theta Z1 Dual Fisheye HDR to all of my clients in VR headset, they like both, but they all think the Qoocam AK Super HDR looks like a beautiful painting, and the Z1 HDR look more like what the house actually looks like in real life, aka less HDR artifacts. From a realtor's perspective, they all want to show the potential buyers the actual house, so to save them time. So there you have it. Theta Z1 is still better for professional virtual tour simply because less HDR artifacts, less saturated, and closer to reality look. But Qoocam AK is still a lot easier in photo editing, as I showed in my last tutorial. Wow, it is not anymore. Let me show you how to install Dual Fisheye plugin. Before we start, please make sure you are on the latest firmware, downloading and installing the Dual Fisheye plugin for Ricoh Theta Z1 right here. I assume you are new to this camera, so let me quickly show you. Step 1. After connecting your camera to your computer is to make sure you are on the latest firmware. Ricoh Theta continuously improve their camera firmware, so it is very important to have the latest firmware before you go on a job. As you see here, I do need to update my camera. Now, go on to Theta 360 plugin store and download the latest version of Dual Fisheye plugin. The minimum version to make this work is 2.9 and above. Go ahead and hit install to install the plugin using the Ricoh Theta basic app. The app will open and go ahead and hit OK. Now the plugin is successfully installed. Click Plugin Management and make sure you select Dual Fisheye plugin as your plugin 1. Click OK and you are done. How to shoot with Dual Fisheye plugin. The easiest way to switch from regular mode to Dual Fisheye plugin after you turn the camera on is to long pressing the mode button. Then in the plugin menu, press the big shutter button. Now you are on Dual Fisheye plugin. Another way is to use your Theta app in your phone after connecting to the camera. Go to Settings, Camera Settings, Plugin, Start Plugin to start up the Dual Fisheye plugin. If you want the full control, I would suggest shooting in HDR bracketed mode with nice step, as I already showed you in this video. Assuming you want to balance between quality and quantity, I will show you the easiest workflow in this tutorial. Comment below if you want my night bracketed HDR DNG workflow with Photomatic and PTGui 12. Here, we are not going to use any third-party paid software. So we are going to use the powerful Theta Z1 internal motion detection HDR merging feature to merge the 9 HDR photo internally within your camera. This is exactly what is missing in all the tutorial out there. Press FM button once to switch to DNG, then Mode button 3 times to turn on HDR DNG, and then press the Wi-Fi button 3 times to get to EB step 9. Long press the Wi-Fi button and turn on the timer to 10 seconds for you to hide somewhere. Now everything is set. Keep the camera on, press the shutter button and go high. Now repeat it in all locations. In general, it should take you less than half an hour to do a full virtual tour. Very fast and very easy. Photo editing and post-production. You know, this is my favorite part to talk about. 80% of the magic happens in photo editing. Any pro can tell you that. Plug your Z1 into your computer and you will see 2 folders, the regular Ricoh folders and the DualFisheye Plugin folder. Everything you did in the DualFisheye Plugin will be in this folder. In here, these folders are created when you use the manual DNG bracket, which I would not recommend unless you are a hardcore professional and know what you are doing. The rest are the merge HDR DNG fisheye. We only need the one with the HDR in the file name. Open Adobe Lightroom Classic and import those HDR photos. Now go to Develop tab, and first we are going to color grade all the fisheye files. You never just take one HDR photo for a professional virtual tour, so I'm going to teach you the batch processing workflow. One thing about Creator Up tutorial is that we are very hands-on. I'm going to use a real client example, one of the oldest house in Bel Air, California. Yes, the same Bel Air of the Will Smith hit TV show, Fresh Prince of Bel Air. I already explained how to edit 360 photo seamlessly in this tutorial, so here I am going to go fast. Use auto to help you out. In general, it is safe to max out the highlights and the shadows like so in Theta Z1 HDR photo. I would not recommend to do that in any other brand like the Qoocam AK. Now you can raise the exposure to taste. This is a 16-bit raw photo, so don't worry about clipping your image. For realistic and commercial housing, I usually don't touch HDR effects like the texture, clarity, and the haze. The idea here is not to express the artist inside you, but recreate what the location actually look like in real life. I will add some contrast though, just to make the photo pop. And that's it. Turn on Remove Chromatic Aberration, and we are done. Now do the same thing for all the rest of the photos. Manual Remove Chromatic Aberration. For Theta Z1, automatic chromatic aberration removal is not enough. Z1 has a very strange characteristic to add blue in high contrast area, like right here. I would recommend remove them later on with the selection tool with a huge feather, so you do not damage the full image. But it is safe to do overall blue suppression if you are in a hurry. Here is how. Go to Menu, increase differential amount to about halfway, and widen the purple hue on the left into the blue area. Pay attention to the image and stop until you see the blue fringes is completely gone. I hope this extra tip saved you some time. Now, select all the HDR DNG, right-click, and stitch them all in Theta Z1 Stitcher. Please make sure your plugin is above version 2.1. The first time, you will not see this option. Just click the Use External Plugin option and select TIFF 16-bit uncompressed as the output format and find the Theta Stitcher execution file as the external file to run. In PC, it is under this location. Next time you open Lightroom, you will see the option here. Choose edit as a copy with Lightroom adjustments, and press edit. If your camera is on a solid monopod and pretty level surface, automatic settings is good enough. I rarely use manual setting. I will also turn on the camera visibility reduction to clip out the tripod leg. Most of the time, the client don't even want the tripod leg to be removed to save cost and time. So it's a nice thing to have this option right here. Now just press the batch processing button and let Theta do all the works for you. The new Stitch 360 photo will show up next to the fisheye. They are still raw 16-bit TIFF file, so you can open in Photoshop for further editing. But remember from my no Seamline workflow tutorial right here, we want to edit the photo as a smart object, so we will not get the Seamline. So right click on the photo, edit in, select open as smart object in Photoshop. As you see here, the photo is a smart object. Double click will open up Adobe Camera Raw. For demonstration purpose of showing this non-destructive workflow, I'm gonna use all the HDR effect here that we all know will create Seamline on any 360 photos. Click OK, add the offset as a smart filter. In the undivided area, make sure you pick wrap around, and this is your QC plugin or changing the beginning point of your 360 photo. I moved the horizon point to a different location, and as you see, no stitch line. Great. And that is how you adjust the photo after the stitch in full raw 16-bit format. Trust me, your clients always change their mind in the last minute and want to make the image brighter or darker. And now you can easily do that in Adobe Camera Raw. You know already, one of my favorite steps is to use Topaz AI Denoise to really improve your image quality. So let's do that. Again, use offset to check the seam line to make sure you do not have any seam problem. 3D Spherical Panorama. I use Photoshop here, but you can use other photo editing software like Affinity Photo right here. In fact, the latest Photoshop has bugs on a 16-bit color depth photo in 3D Spherical Panorama. There is a workaround. You can convert your photo to even higher color depth, 32-bit. Do your editing and convert it back to 16-bit when you're done. My suggestion though is to make sure to finish all the editing first and then just save it as a JPEG. Re-import it as an 8-bit and remove your tripod. So, save as into JPEG format like so, import the JPEG, go to 3D Spherical Panorama, new panorama layer from selected layer, pan down to your tripod leg, use the square selection tool to select just the portion of the photo to speed up the removal. Go ahead and use the chrome stamp or healing brush to paint out the tripod like so. Merge the layer back down. Now you are done. Tripod is removed. Now go back to 3D, export panorama and save it as a JPEG for MLS, Facebook, or whatever virtual tour software you are using. Manual stitch to correct problems. There is no auto stitch will come out perfect every single time. There will be time you need to manual stitch to fix close-up problems. As you see here, there is a stitching problem on the workout bench. You can simply use distance-specific slider to fix that problem. Look at that. Stitching problem solved. It is that easy. Bonus, advanced 360 photo editing for high-end professional virtual tour. Okay, if you are still here, you are a true professional who wants to get the best result, and I won't disappoint you. I always try to go above and beyond to improve your skill with techniques you wouldn't even find on paid tutorials. Honestly, most of the paid tutorials I found on Udemy or Skillshare are pretty bad. You should not waste your time or money on those. So back to the problem at hand. when you're trying to get a better removal of the tripod legs using the heating brush, sometimes you just cannot get that straight line to connect. There's a secret menu in the Chrome Stamp tool no one seems to talk about, Chrome Source menu. So pick the Chrome Stamp tool, go to Window, Chrome Source. The idea here is to gradually use the rotation tool to blend your Chrome Source to connect to the other end finally. So we are going to do just that on here to remove the tripod. Again, you can do a better job when you spend more time on this. The second tip I'm going to give you is about the bathroom. There are usually lots of mirror in the bathroom of a high-end property. So your camera will be seen in all the mirror just like right here. We are going to remove it. Luckily, everything you just learned can be applied not only to tripod legs, but to all the mirror reflection as well. We are going to first use the heating brush to remove the camera like so, roughly. Then we are going to use the Chrome Stamp tool to patch the around pixel to blend everything in. Zoom out, it looks great. One more right here, same idea. Heating brush and then Chrome Stamp with Chrome Source control. Bam, done. The third tip is a big one. I did lots of high-end museum virtual tour. Even though I used DSLR instead of a Ricoh Theta Z1, a common problem of all fisheye lens is the reflection in a lot of the paintings, like right here. My photographers actually did a good job here by avoiding the sun, but you should always use a DSLR to take a flat photo of all the paintings. If you can, remove the cover glasses as well. Then in Photoshop, you recom the 2D photo into 360. In here, I'm going to replace the photo as I did not have the original photo. In 3D panel mode in Photoshop, we are trying to face the photo. It does not need to be straight on. Now, use the selection tool to select just that area to work faster if you have a slow computer. Now, use the polygon lasso tool to trace the edge of the inner of the painting. Add 1 to 2 pixel feather around the selection. Duplicate the original layer and create a clip mask using the selection. Then hide it. Bring in a new photo and roughly resize it. Use perspective or distort under transform to corner pin the new photo around the painting. Again, does not need to be exactly. Now, copy the selection from the hidden layer and paste it onto a new photo. To make it believable, we are going to copy the reflection back to the new photo. So, unhide the original layer, move it on top, and use blend mode to blend it in. I use multiple here, but please play it around. Lower the opacity and check it out. The light fixture reflection is back in on the new painting. Look like my tiny planet photo was actually there. Let's add some Gaussian blur and noise to the photo. Voila! Just like magic. This is how I replace all the photos in the room, even the ones on the wall in my recent Instagram post, which got lots of likes. This should be able to help you to replace anything in any 360 photos. A nifty skill to have in your arsenal. Hey, don't forget to like this video if you want more cool tricks in the future tutorial just like this. Thank you for watching this complete HDR workflow for Ricoh Theta Z1. I hope by now you can create more 360 virtual tour with higher image quality and higher volume. If you have any question, please comment below. I will do my best to help you out. And as always, your like and share really help me to continue to create high quality VR educational content absolutely free for you. I don't believe in profiting from my viewers and people who want to actually learn, but I can't do it without your help. Tell your other photographer friends to check out this crazy Asian guy and follow me on Instagram to support my 360 art. I share some of my best work there that will inspire you as well. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, and I will see you in virtual reality.